I run a handmade soap company called the Genie Soap Company. We make all our soaps by hand using very natural vegetable oils and essential oils.
Genie Recherche est un laboratoire de valorisation de la biomasse végétale. Notre axe de recherche avec notre équipe, c'est de valoriser principalement les déchets, les sous-produits agricoles et les déchets verts des collectivités.
We are an air traffic management and airports consultancy based in Bournemouth. We conduct simulations and provide expertise on air traffic management concepts to clients around the world.
I think probably I've been harbouring this long-term desire, passion for shoes. Retail is what I know, so I decided to go back into retail.
I'm a researcher in the Department of Mechanical Engineering here at the University of Bath. In that role, I work on powertrains for vehicles and for future vehicles.
I'm a prize research fellow, so that means that I do active research into developing new materials for applications such as gas storage.
Je suis le directeur de la fromagerie Maître Pannec depuis 11 ans. Alors c'est une production artisanale, c'est une aventure qui existe depuis maintenant plus de 70 ans et à peu près 500 variétés de fromages.
I'm an inspector in Devon and Cornwall Police. My day job is around managing information and intelligence within the force. But beyond that, I've just kind of had an interest in innovation. So now I'm trying to work with that as well in the police.
We make basically preserves. Anything that goes into a jar, we tend to do. We make everything by hand in a true old-fashioned artisan way.
J'ai fait le choix de prendre ma retraite, mais comme j'avais juste 50 ans, c'était pas mon idée de m'arrêter là. Est-ce que je peux créer mon entreprise? Et là, ça fait peur.
I quite like my own company, but I also think it's good to have other people to bounce ideas off of and everything. And I think, you can be, without even realising, too much on your own.
It's very difficult when you're a small company with very limited budgets to get into new countries or new markets and areas of market.
Notre société avait besoin des fonds pour démarrer et c'était un besoin alors pour la société et pour moi-même de donner quelque chose aux seniors.
And we were trying to grow the company, and we didn't really know how to explain to people what it was that we did, what it was that we offered, what it was that we sold, and we found it really hard to get our message across.
On avait l'idée, mais la formuler...
We were looking for something, I suppose, almost tangible to work with, a real structure to work in with some of the issues that we were grappling with.
About 18 months ago, the Sussex Chamber of Commerce asked us if we would be interested in joining the Deeds project. Not having a clue what they meant, I obviously had to ask, well, what's all this about? And they said the idea was to have a cooperation to foster cross-border relationships and business and basically see where things went.
Et puis tout d'un coup, je me dis, mais c'est étonnant parce que ça ressemble tellement à ce qu'on aimerait développer en interne, le projet dont on parle depuis maintenant plusieurs mois.
Et puis, on nous a parlé de ce cycle de conférences Senior Entreprise et on pouvait donc s'inscrire si on avait un projet.
We got a point where we needed a link to an external organisation rather than trying to solve it ourselves, which the police historically has done a lot of. We try to fix everything ourselves. If you think about it, that's our job. We turn up and we fix things. So to actually go to somebody and say, we don't quite know what to do with this is quite hard.
I think you always think about these things because it's time, isn't it? With the best will in the world, there are only so many hours in the day and so much energy you have.
Yes, initially there was some hesitation as I was unsure how my research was going to fit in with the meat agenda.
À quoi est-ce qu'on va être confronté? Que vont penser les gens? Là, c'est vrai que ça reste un petit peu l'inconnu. Autant en France, bon, on a notre petite idée déjà, mais autant en Angleterre, bon.
Je suis habituée à me lancer des défis de tout style et de tout genre, et c'est vrai que ça m'a pas fait peur, non, j'ai plutôt trouvé ça plutôt intéressant.
You know, there have been days when I thought, do I really need to go to this? And I've always been pleased that I've gone, because I've always got something out of it.
When you start on these programs, it's difficult to, what are they trying to do? What's it about? But when you get there and you meet the people, you go, hang on, they're doing what we're trying to do.
Ça me paraît impossible aujourd'hui de penser au niveau local. On est obligé d'avoir un changement d'échelle, et l'échelle est forcément européenne.
Well, I think one challenge of being involved in a project like this is always going to be communicating with your collaborators.
Because we all speak different languages, not French, English, but different technical languages. And sometimes we have very different words for the same thing. And that can be very hard to get across and to understand.
Nous, Français, on n'est pas les meilleurs au niveau de l'anglais. Quelques difficultés culturelles également, puisque bon, les Anglais sont parfois assez durs en affaires, hein, donc pas toujours facile à aborder.
I know there's a great big wide river between us, but that's it, basically. It's only 20 miles, it's ridiculous. We don't think anything of doing business with a company 60 miles up the road, but you go 20 miles south and there's a whole different world out there with different attitudes and different values.
Il y a la mer entre les deux, et je crois qu'on fait partie, on a en tout cas les mêmes racines, la même histoire quelque part aussi. Et l'idée, effectivement, c'est de monter des projets et de faire des échanges, parce qu'effectivement, je pense que de part et d'autre de la Manche, on a des choses à échanger.
It's really nice to be able to talk to the business people in France and get their take on the way things are there and also their perception of us here. So it works both ways.
It's challenging because you're working with people from different countries, with different languages, different cultures, different approaches. But the challenge has created strengths. So it hasn't always been easy, but in the end, we've very much benefited from it.
The intercultural exchanges are very important because clearly when you're selling a product, not only do you have to sell your product, but you have to sell yourself and you have to develop a personal relationship. So whichever country you're working in, becoming familiar with the cultural mores of that country is extremely important.
En tant que chercheur, l'intérêt de participer, c'est de pouvoir développer notre réseau en termes de recherche, en développant des nouveaux partenariats avec des universitaires qu'on n'aurait pas forcément côtoyés sans cette opportunité.
I think it's support and also just bouncing ideas. So it's lots of different levels.
Ça m'a donné une opportunité à redonner quelque chose aux autres et c'est très bien ça, parce que ça donne beaucoup plus qu'on pense.
C'est je donne, je reçois, je donne, je reçois.
It creates a link that becomes a relationship. And once you've got a relationship, it goes beyond any programs.
Ensemble, on s'est soutenus, on s'est donné notre avis, on s'est donné des tuyaux, on a créé notre premier réseau.
Et c'est vrai qu'à la fin de cette expérience, ça aura enrichi l'entreprise parce que demain, si on doit relancer un nouveau projet, on le travaillera de la même façon qu'on aura travaillé ce projet européen.
I would say go for it.